stampcampwithjen.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, near the Villages, and welcome to my weekly YouTube Live. It's been a couple weeks now since we've been live. I've been doing my 12 Days of Christmas series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't had a chance to check out those projects, just go to my YouTube channel and look up 12 Days of Christmas. I have a whole playlist with the 12 projects from this year and then previous years as well. You can also go to my blog, stampcampwithjen.com, and see them there. I came up with 12 different gift ideas for you. Some of them pretty easy, some of them a little more technical, but all of them lots of fun. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I had a blast putting them together and I just loved it. It was so much fun. Oh, Diane, I'm so glad you're here. I'm making your project today that you inspired. So I hope you approve. So my friend Diana sent me this video a few months ago and said, can you figure out how to make this? I really want to make one of these for Christmas. And I was a little slow to get back to her, but I found a different Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who had already made one. So I just sent her that link, and then I finally sat down last night actually and tried to put one together myself, and now I'm obsessed with this project. You guys are gonna love this project. It's so cool and actually pretty easy to put together. So we are gonna do that today. But I want to know, how is your Thanksgiving? I have missed you guys. It's been a nice break to kind of spend some time with my family and slow down a little bit. We had a great time. My parents came down from South Carolina and my baby sister flew down from Maryland, and they were here for about a week and a half, and we just had lots of fun hanging out together. We played a game called Tripoli. Well, my sister, after my parents left, my sister and I played it, but we originally played it at my parents' house and had a blast. If you've ever played it, it's lots of fun. You have like 3 different rounds of games that you play. It's like hearts and poker and Michigan rummy, and you put chips in, and it's just a lot of fun. The poker part's the most difficult part for me because I don't know poker very well, but they have a little cheat sheet in the game that you can use. It's so much fun. And then we taught my my in-laws how to play that as well, and they really enjoyed it. Hi, Karen from Oregon. Welcome. So how's the weather wherever you guys are? It's been kind of, excuse me, rainy here, but it's finally starting to clear up and get a little sunny. A surprise that we had over the Thanksgiving break was we have a wooded lot next to my house, and one day a bunch of bulldozers came and tore down all the trees, and I guess they're building a house next door. So luckily so far it's not interfering with our YouTube video. I went and talked to them this morning. There were construction guys out banging all morning outside, and they were gone before my meeting, but before our YouTube live. So hopefully that will continue. But they came a couple weeks ago and were like drilling the sewer lines, I guess, and it was like so loud in the house. It was crazy. So I'm crossing my fingers that I can either talk to them about taking a lunch break whenever we have YouTube lives, or that they'll just be gone when we have them. So hopefully it won't be too bad, but we shall see. Hi, Tina. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, so I am going to flip the camera around. We're going to go over a couple of quick reminders, and then we'll get started on today's project. Like I said, you guys are going to love this. This is a great project if you have somebody that's like really hard to shop for, or you just need like a last minute gift idea. This is a really cool one. Diana says, oh, in Illinois, it's snow and in the 20s. You can't wait until you come to Florida. We can't wait to see you too, Diana. We miss you. All right, so let's flip the camera around here and we'll go over some quick reminders. So if you're part of my newsletter, you probably saw my email. I have my current Stamp Camp to Go, which closes out today. Today is the last day to subscribe and get Stamp Camp to Go. We make 4 cards this month. It's featuring the Delicate Pines Suite, and you get 2 card kits for each kit. So you make a total of 8 cards. And I usually include a fun fold. I really like how this one turned out. This is really cool. So that's the fun fold this time. And this card. So even though, because you'll probably get this after Christmas, but I tried to keep it more winter themed and not so much Christmas themed. So you will need the Delicate Pines bundle to complete the projects, but you'll get half a pack of this, of the paper cut down to 6x6. You'll get a full spool of the ribbon and then a full pack of the gems, the snowflake faceted gems as well. So you can become a monthly subscriber. The deadline for this one, though, has already passed. I'm sorry, I got a little behind with the holidays, but the one-time payment for this is $50, and then you can add the bundle and any inks you need and save 17% on tax and shipping. It's a really great deal. You get all of the kits, the paper, the ribbon, the embellishments, and then I send you a PDF tutorial with video instructions for each of the cards as well. So lots of fun. If you'd like to sign up, I forgot to add the registration link to the description below, but I will add that when we get off here. And like I said, tonight is the deadline to register for that. Hi, Rachel. Welcome from Colorado. I bet you have lots of snow where you are. And hi, Tina. Welcome. Okay, so one thing I want to mention, if you haven't seen this yet, Stampin' Up! Just started a new program, we'll say, called Product of the Month. This is replacing Celebration, so we will no longer have Celebration. Celebration, if you're not familiar with it, was in January and February, sometimes March. You would get free product when you ordered at least $50 or $60 worth of items in your Stampin' Up! Order. So now, replacing Product of the Month, replacing Celebration, excuse me, we have Product of the Month. So each month there will be a featured product. And when you spend at least $75, you will unlock that product and be able to add it to your cart and only pay $5 for that item. You'll only be able to get one per person. And once they're gone, they're gone. So if it's a really popular one, it could sell out before the end of the month. If they have a lot of inventory for a specific one, it might carry over. So for example, if this paper is still available after December, it could carry over into January, but if you've already ordered one, that doesn't mean you can order it in January. So hopefully that makes sense. I did add which month this is. Hopefully Stampin' Up! Will start adding that information as well to their flyers. But so this is the December product of the month. It's this beautiful True Blue Florals Designer Series paper. So once your order hits $75, you can unlock this and add it to your cart for only $5, okay? It is pretty DSP, Joan. Hi, welcome. Okay, and then my last little reminder is I do have Stampin' Blends labels for purchase. They're a one-time purchase of $5, and once you purchase them one time, any future blends labels I make, I just email to you for free. So there's a link for that in the description below this video, as well as at the end of my blog post for this project, okay? All right, that is quick and easy. That's all I have for today. And now we will get started with our project. I love it so much. Okay, so this is what we're making today. It is a Waterfall gift card holder. So it's got a little belly band, and we open it up and you pull this little tab down here, and 1 gift card, 2 gift cards, 3 gift cards. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. I was like, why didn't I make this sooner? This is genius. But yeah, these are all over like TikTok and social media. I think they put like 8 or 9 gift cards in there. It's something crazy, but 3 I think is plenty. So, like I said, my friend Diana asked me to make this. I found another demonstrator. Her name is Peggy Merwin, and in my blog post, I will have a link to her project so you can see her original project. But she came up with the instructions, and I used hers and kind of altered them a little bit. But I love this so, so much, and I can't wait to show you guys how to put this together. Now, you don't have to do gift cards. You could put money inside. On her video, she said somebody told her, oh, you could put lotto cards, maybe if you folded them up, but I would say stick with money or gift cards. Now, this is kind of bulky. You'll see it's got a little bit of a spine to kind of make up for the bulk inside the card. So you're not going to be able to just mail it in a standard envelope. I would either hand this to somebody, or I would maybe put it in a padded envelope to mail to somebody, or you could put it like in a, like if you're making a box of Christmas presents and goodies and to mail out, I would do that, but still put it in some sort of packaging if you put it in a Christmas box so that it doesn't get damaged. Oh, Diana, you made it for your daughter and your son-in-law. Oh, I bet they're gonna love it. It's so cool. Okay, so we are using the Jolly Delivery Bundle. Now, I printed this off. So, oops. In the tutorial that I will post after this is over, I'll post the link in the description below this video, and it'll also be on my blog. I always, in the tutorial, I put the link for the video right below the picture and then all the measurements. And I tried to make them as clear as possible what each one is, because there are a lot of components in here. Okay, and then I did want to point out, because Stampin' Up, I did forget to mention, Stampin' Up had a last chance products refresh. So that's basically, they added new items to their clearance rack or retirement list, whatever you want to call it, but it's called last chance products now. So the bundle itself is, the individual elements are on the last chance, and I think the bundle might be too, but the individual stamp set and dies are discounted, but if you do the math, it's the same price as just ordering the bundle, so you might as well just order the bundle. And then the paper is discounted 20% off as well, so if you want to get that paper, I would recommend getting that now. I love this paper. It's got 2 sheets of ephemera in it, and I will admit I was not a huge fan of ephemera when Stampin' Up first introduced it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but this ephemera in this pack is gorgeous. I love it so much, and it makes really pretty, quick and easy cards, and it just adds like a really nice touch to all the cards. I really, really like it. So they have made a believer out of me. They've converted me to ephemera. I was not, like I said, a huge fan, but I like it now. Okay, so let's get started. So we're gonna make our card base first. I'm gonna get my paper trimmer out. Move this off to the side here. Oh, and this is the stamp set if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. So it's got like a cute little bear, a dog, I think this is a badger, and a cat, and lots of nice little Christmas sentiments. So if you don't like the animals, it's still got like postage and a little mailbox and a little postage marker there and a present. So you don't have to necessarily use the animals, but I think it's really cute. Okay, so our base needs to be, let me get my measurements out so I don't tell you the wrong thing here. But like I said, this will be, all the measurements will be on my blog as well. So this needs to be 6 1/4 by 9. Is this long enough? No, of course not. Well, let me cut off this 1-inch piece first before I cut this piece down. So this is the belly band. I need a 1 by 10-inch piece for the belly band. So I'm cutting this first, and then that way I can cut the rest of that paper down. So I need 1 by 10 for the belly band. And we're gonna score that at 2.5. 2 3/4, 7 1/8, which is way down here, 7 1/8. So you have 7, and then if you go 2 tick marks over, that's 1/8. And then 7 3/8 is 2 tick marks past 7 1/4. Okay, so I actually, so if you have these little pieces that are kind of fraying on your edges, like let's say your blades are starting to go and you're getting those little frayed edges, you can take a little nail file and kind of rub those ends, because I know Stampin' Up! Had that big Black Friday sale and their blades, their paper trimmer blades are on back order. So I am in trouble because I use Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer blades a lot. But if you have that problem where you get those frayed edges, you can just take a nail file and it will kind of trim that down if you need to. So that's a little tip. If you are like me and you're waiting on new paper trimmer blades to come out, you can do that to get rid of some of those frayed edges. It helps a little bit. It's not perfect, but it does help a little bit get rid of those frayed edges. Okay. All right. So now, what did I say? 6 1/4 by 9. So we'll do the 9-inch side first. I do have a couple of blades. I just forgot to change them out before I sat down. So 9, and then 6 1/4 is, let me zoom in so you can see. So there's this long divot right here. If you have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, this long mark right here, that is the 6 1/4 inch mark where you need to line up your paper. Okay. All right, so now with the 9-inch side across the top, we need to score at 2 1/8. 2 3/8. 6 5/8, which this is 6 1/2, and then we'll go 2 more marks to the left, so that's 6 5/8, and 6 7/8, which is 2 marks just below the 7-inch mark there. Okay. All right. So we will fold on these little lines here. This is just making that card base. Like I said, I love a good gift card holder. My middle sister, she is always like, just get me a gift card. I want to just go shopping. Which I totally understand that logic. I like that. That's what's really fun about after Christmas, right? Is going and spending all of your Christmas gift cards and your Christmas money. So another tip, if you notice, sometimes your paper, when you cut it, it like curls up a little bit. If you want to flatten that out, all you have to do is take a little bone folder and just rub the bone folder over that edge, and that will press it back down so that it's flat and you don't have that curled up edge like that. Okay. All right. So now this is going to be the inside. So I'm going to flip it over to the outside, and I've got a couple pieces of designer series paper from that Jolly Delivery. So this paper with the envelopes that are all cluttered together, this is going to be the outside decoration. So we're going to go ahead and put that on now. And I'm just going to take some Stampin' Seal Plus and stick that down. You could use liquid glue if you want to. I just really like Stampin' Seal Plus because it's quick and easy and it sticks right away. And glue, I find if you put too much glue on something, it becomes real bubbly. So I personally prefer Stampin' Seal Plus for certain things. All right, and we're gonna put that down. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it to the inside, and I decorated the inside panels with these envelopes that aren't quite as close together. So I cut those and put those down. You could do the back side that just has the grid pattern if you want, but I really like how it looks with the envelope. So we're gonna put those on those inside panels. Believe it or not, I have a granddaughter and she is 9 and she loves like arts and crafts, and every time she comes over, she wants to make the card kits from Stampin' Up. We almost always do those together, and she's at the point where she's done them so much, she can put them together by herself. And so I think, and anytime I make her like a little paper craft like this, she gets so excited. I made some for Easter one time. Oh, this looks like it's not cut right. What size is this? Oh, that's 1 3/4. That's why. I gotta recut that one. Hold on one second. It was a little short. Supposed to be 1 6 by 1 7/8. So I need to recut that piece. It's a little small. Oops. But yeah, so she can do them all by herself pretty much at this point. So but she loves, like I said, any little like treat boxes I make for her. She takes them to school and shows her friends. She's so cute. All right, so this one, put right here. There we go. Okay, so we've got those inside panels and the outside panels done. So we can put that aside for right now. Now we want to work on our waterfall piece, okay? So we're gonna grab a piece of garden green. Let's move this out of the way. And we need a piece that is 3 3/4 by 11. So we're going to take that 8.5 inch piece at the top, and we're going to we're going to line it up at 3 3/4. And that's 3 3/4 by 11. Okay. Now we need to score it with the 11-inch piece at the top. We're going to score at 5 3/4. And 6 1/2, 7 1/4, and 8. Okay. So that's that waterfall piece. Okay. So while I have my paper trimmer out, I'm going to cut a couple more pieces though. And I already made my little waterfall band mechanism. This is 1 1/2 by 5 5/8, scored at 3/4 and 4 7/8. And then we need the little waterfall flaps, which are going to be 3 3/4 by 3. And I need 4 of those. So I'm probably going to need to grab another piece of paper. 2 and 3. I'm lucky, I might have a scrap piece that I can use, but I think I've dug through all of them. Let's see here. Yeah. Gotta get another piece. Hold on one second. All right. So we'll do 3 by 3 3/4. Okay, so we have 4 of those now. All right. So now what we want to do is with this little waterfall piece, we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish on all of those score lines. Okay. Want to make sure they're really nice and crisp so it moves really easily. Have you guys made a waterfall card before? It's been a long time since I've made a waterfall card. Hi, Debbie. Thanks so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you too. We are making a waterfall gift card holder. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so we made all of those nice and crisp. So there's a couple things you can do here. You can, let me bring my sample in to show you. You can round the corners if you want, or just leave them like they are, or you can kind of angle them. Peggy Merwin, in her video, she shows you how to angle them a certain way if you want to do that. I like the rounded look, but like I said, you could just leave it like it is like this, and that's fine too. But I'm going to grab my little crocodile corner rounder here. It's got a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch rounder. We're going to use a little 1/2 inch here. I just kind of put that in and get that big fat rounded corner, but whatever corner rounder you have, you can use. I used to have a link for this on Amazon, but when I looked earlier today, apparently Amazon doesn't have it on their store anymore. And I couldn't even find it online, like just doing a Google search. So just use whatever corner rounder you have. I don't know what happened with that, but because I love this thing, I will use it all the time. Okay, so I just rounded the corners. To me, it's a little easier for people to know to pull it if you have the corners rounded. You could add like a little ribbon as a pull tab or whatever. I just kind of kept it simple and left it blank. Okay, so we have this piece. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is actually going to go, oh, I thought it was 3 3/4. It is 3 3/4. It's supposed to be 3 1/2 by 5. Oh, goodness. I didn't look at my instructions. Well, it's better to be too big than too small, right? 3 1/2 by 5. Apologies. Let's double check. Yep, by 5. Okay. 3 1/2 by 5. Joan says she made a waterfall card a long time ago. Yeah, it's been a while for me too, Joan. But as you see, as long as you just make sure the spacing is even on the top and the bottom, that's all you need to do to make sure that it won't show on the bottom here, okay? So what we're gonna do, if you'll notice, in the first one I made, I didn't think about the fact that the top is gonna be covered up. So when you open this one, luckily my greeting just so happened to show when I pulled it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually measure it this time and stamp. So the part that's actually going to show is 4 1/4. So if we go up here and look at 4 1/4, you can make a mark. So really that, was it 3/4 of an inch at the top is what's going to be covered up here. So I'm going to stamp my message more in the center of this so it will show a little bit better. So we have, it says, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. And that's from that Jolly Delivery stamp set. And we're going to stamp that in Garden Green. And we're going to stamp it in the center this time. So it will show, we know it will show, okay? I did it a little too high last time. So you want to stamp it in the center. Okay. And then I did a little bit of decorating. I put the little cat ephemera piece on the bottom, but you could put whatever animal you want. I'll grab there's another cat in here. I just thought it was so cute. But if you're more of a dog person, or you could leave that off altogether if you don't like that, but I do. We'll use a little bit of liquid glue for this one. Oops. And see, don't want a lot of glue, so try not to squeeze it all out like I just did. All right. Even rip some of that off there. All right, so we're just gonna put that right in the center there. Stick that on, let him dry. Okay. And then what we want to do is, for our little waterfall piece here with the folds coming down, that's the direction you want them to be. But we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna center it and make sure that we have an even border on the top and the sides, and that will be perfect. That's exactly where we want it to be. I love this. I actually haven't even shown this to my husband yet. I was thinking about giving him one of these because he's always more impressed with the interactive cards that I make. So I might give him one and just put a bunch of little gift cards in here. I think he would really enjoy that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we have those 4 panels that we made, right? So one of them is going to get decorated with just a piece of designer series paper. We're just going to center it. It's going to have a little bit of a border all the way around. We can go ahead and stick that on. And then this is kind of another little twist I put on this card was, if you watch Peggy's video, she kind of just used the little DSP pieces as decorations, but I wanted to make them pockets so that you could actually stick the gift card or money in there and make a pocket out of it. So that's my little adjustment that I made to this because I really like the idea of just sticking money or a gift card in the pocket. Now it will be a little tight, but that's the point. We want it to be tight so that when you're moving the gift card slider up and down, money and gift cards don't go flying. So making it a pocket makes it a little bit easier to hold that stuff in place. So I have these little designer series paper strips. And we're going to grab our silicone craft sheet. Now, if you've never used one of these, you can buy this in my Stampin' Up! Store. These are awesome. So they're made of silicone. And what happens is whenever you have something that's kind of fine that you're gluing, I usually recommend using this because that way if the glue kind of spills outside of your paper, it will stick to this silicone mat and not your work surface. And then when the glue dries, all you have to do is take your finger and kind of rub the glue off and it will peel away. It's really awesome. So we're just going to take a little line of liquid glue and we're going to very carefully put a little line at the very edge of the sides and the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to carefully line that up at the bottom here, and it should go all the way out to the sides and the bottom of that panel. Now you can see some of the liquid glue is starting to spill out over here, but that's okay because it's just gonna dry on to that silicone panel. You can use your fingers to kind of wipe a little bit of it away. Okay. I'll set that aside to dry and we'll work on the other 2. Now you do want to be careful not to stick it where you just had the glue. Like you can see that glue right here. So I'm going to move it over to the side so I don't accidentally have it sit in the glue and then get everything all messy. That's not what we want. So again, a little line of glue on the sides and on the bottom here. So is everybody done with their Christmas shopping? I know some people have been done for a while. Kudos to you. I wish I could be done that early, but it just never works out for me. I'm always buying stuff all the way up till Christmas, just about, it seems like. So we're gonna rub that down. And you kind of want to rub that glue off with your fingers if it does spill out, just a little bit, because we don't want it to stick when we're moving the panels up and down. So there's one more. And then a little line to the left and the right and the bottom. It was funny because I was actually in the car the other day doing online like Christmas shopping in my car too. I was like, that's kind of great. You can be going out to do something and still get your Christmas shopping done. I really like that. Okay. So again, we just want to use our finger and kind of wipe that off. Okay. So now we can move that aside. We don't need that anymore. Now what we want to do is The bottom panel is just going to be one of these pockets. It doesn't matter which one, but that is going to match up with this entire panel right here, okay? So we can just put liquid glue all over this panel. And you want to line up the top edge right below where that score line is. And we'll just stick that on there. Okay. And now this section, we're going to apply glue. And we'll put the next gift card panel, again, lining it up right below where that score line is. But we're just going to put it on this panel, just a little bit. And now we're lining that up, gluing that down. Glue is great for this kind of project. It'll make sure everything's in place. It gives you time to wiggle it around. And then our next gift card pocket's gonna go right above that. Again, we're just gonna put glue on that little section. And that's how we get it to flip, by just adhering glue to those little sections like that. Okay. And now this top little section is where we're going to put that piece that was completely covered with the designer series paper. So we're just going to put a little bit of liquid glue here. And we will adhere that to that very top section, just like that. See, it's coming together. We're getting there. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to take, so this is what I'm calling, what piece am I calling this in my tutorial? The waterfall band mechanism. So you have this little piece here. It's got little flaps on the sides. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up putting a little bit of glue here, and it's going to go right under this piece, okay? It's going to get centered from left to right, but it's going to go right under this piece here, okay? So what we want to do is we want to leave a little bit of room on the left and the right for the glue. So we don't want to put it all the way to the edge there, but just kind of in the middle here. We want to put the glue, and we're going to lift this up. So this piece is going to be underneath this, and then this is going to get glued to this top section here, okay? Just like so. So once you have it in place, you can kind of rub it like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is this piece, this is 4 by 6. And this piece is actually going to go on top of that white background border, okay? We're going to center it all the way around here. And once we have it centered, we're going to flip it over. And then these tabs, whoops, I'm going to have to do that again. Those tabs are going to go over there. So again, center it. I moved it. Center it how you want, right there. Okay, then hold it in place, top and bottom, and flip. Try to keep it together. Now we're going to put glue on these tabs. And flip that over. And that should, when we flip it over, it should all be centered. Oh, and now when you pull this piece, dun da da, so cute. Awesome. Okay, so now we can adhere this to the inside. This will go in here like this. That's a big waterfall piece. So we can put liquid glue on there to give us some time to wiggle everything in place. But now we put glue all over the back of the white piece here. And you can put them on those tabs and put them all over. Okay, so just like that. And now we carefully put this in the center of our card. Yeah, my husband will for sure be like, whoa, so cool. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I just love it. If you're enjoying this project, don't forget to give me a little thumbs up or a heart and let me know. I love seeing all those little hearts and thumbs up emojis. Okay, so if it sticks a little bit from that glue coming out, there's a couple things you can do. You can take an adhesive eraser wherever it's kind of sticking a little bit and kind of rub that along the edges to get that glue from sticking. You can take a little baby powder and put it on there, but that gets kind of messy. I highly recommend using these little glue erasers, and you can just rub those along the edges and anywhere you think there might be a little bit of extra glue. That'll pull that stickiness up and then it'll keep it from sticking. So you can kind of play around with it a little bit. Oh my gosh, Diana. I can't stop playing with this thing. I love it. Thank you so much for this idea. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I have a couple of circles that I cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. If you don't have these in your craft room, I cannot stress enough how much you need to get them. I use these all the time. I'm actually thinking about getting a second set of them because I use them so much. So we used the largest and the second largest of the circles. I love the stitching, and they're just basic shapes that you can use for so many things. So the second largest circle is going to go on the inside here. And we are going to grab one of these little cute little delivery trucks, the ephemera pieces that they have. Oh, this one would be good, actually. It's got the green with the presents. I like that. We're going to do that one because right underneath it, we're going to stamp special delivery in real red, which is also from that set. So what I like to do is just kind of lay the ephemera down about where I'm going to adhere it just to get spacing. And then we're going to take this real red and we're going to stamp it right below the truck. So cute. And then you can take liquid glue or Stampin' Seal Plus, whatever you want. I'll just take a little bit of liquid glue and put it on the back here of the ephemera. I just love how polished and finished the ephemera makes everything look too. It looks really nice. So we've got that special delivery. And then we're just going to center that right in that top panel and adhere that right there. So again, I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal Plus because I'm impatient and it works pretty quickly. Oh, I love this so much. It's so cute. Okay. And then we're going to close it up, and we've got that little belly band that we made here. And we can just take our bone folder. I usually, this is 1 inch by 10 inches. And what I like to do is line up the paper, make sure it's even with the edges before I score it. And that just kind of helps ensure that it's straight, or it tries to anyway. Okay. And then I'm gonna do that one and that one. You're welcome, Diana. All right, so it doesn't matter which one's on top, but what I like to do is on one of the panels, I will take a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus and put a line on the outside. So I have it right here. And then the other panel, we're gonna put a line on the inside of Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use tear and tape too if you want to. And then we are going to kind of line this up. It's almost like a little book, right? So we're going to line this up so those score lines are on the outside of that. And then we don't want it super tight. We want it kind of loose. And then once we have it about where we think it should be in place, we just kind of press that down, okay? And then for our stitch circle, I've got another bear here. I've got a little brown bear actually with a present. We can do that one. Kind of matches a little bit better with the envelopes maybe. But we're just gonna center him. Actually, I like the presents because it kind of fills that circle up a little bit more. Yeah, I like that one a little bit better actually. Or here's an idea. We can do that and put a message on the bottom. I wonder if this will fit. Where did I put it? I was gonna stamp sending merry tidings, but I wasn't sure. Oh, this might work actually. We could do that with the bear on this one. Let's try that one. So you could just do the presents and leave it blank like I did with the first one, or we're gonna stamp this one in garden green to match his scarf. And we'll just stamp it right about there. Oh, that's cute too. I can't decide. I love them all. They're adorable. When I saw this suite, when the demonstrators were able to see these in the catalog, I was like squealing. I thought these were adorable. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really like cutesy stuff, and I just thought these were the most darling things ever. I couldn't wait to play with it. All right, so we're just going to center that on the belly band, and we'll just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus in the middle about where that circle is gonna go. And we'll stick this on here. And that's it. That is our little gift card holder. Isn't that the most adorable thing ever? These, like Rachel said, these would be great for any occasion. You could make these for a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding, just any occasion that you want to spoil somebody with. I think these would be the most beautiful thing ever. And you can, like I said, it doesn't have to be gift cards. You could fold money up in there. There's all kinds of stuff. I just love it so much. All right, guys. Well, I really hope you enjoyed today's project. If you did, like I said, give me a little thumbs up or a heart and leave a comment below, especially if you're watching the replay. I'd love to hear what you think about today's project. I will be back again next Monday with another fun project. If you haven't yet, please sign up for my newsletter. I send out reminders with a direct link to the video every Monday morning. And I would really love it if you'd follow me on all of my social media and join my newsletter so you get lots of updates, okay? All right, guys. Well, I hope you had have a great week. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And until next time, be safe and happy stamping. See you next Monday. Bye-bye.